Nice day here in Waikiki. Like it often is, I'm trying to keep the fucking thumb cam out of the equation today. Yeah, this is kind of, unless it rains, and when it rains, we get like little rain showers. Like it'll, especially this is more summertime stuff. Like it'll just shower, like someone's got like a watering can, lasts like 10 minutes and goes away. But we have the occasional overcast sort of rainy day, but for the most part, it looks like this every day. It's fucking beautiful here. I love this place. I'm walking with a ridiculous limp, I guess, because I ran into my building manager, and he's like, "Why are you walking like that?" And I'm trying to keep my leg from extending all the way because it's where the pain is. So I'm walking like a real dick. I like to get one of those canes, the ones that have the false top, and you pull it off and it's a sword. That'd be a nice defensive weapon. I'll just duel somebody, and if they don't have their sword, well, they really fucked up, because I'm gonna have mine. If I have to walk like this for any amount of time, that's what I'm gonna be doing. Because it looks bad. It looks like an idiot. I was thinking more about the that Mandela effect. And one thing I forgot to add when I went into it, which is something that happens to me a lot. I'll get like a bunch of things in my head, and I'll be like, all right, let it roll. And then they all slowly evaporate from my mind. What I wanted to say yesterday, let's talk about how I ran into that Anne Rice biography, and whenever they would mention the book Interview with the Vampire, as it's known now, they would say Interview with a Vampire. And if you use the closed captioning, it spells A. Oh, this is hard, because I try not to film people, but sometimes, like this place here, it's crazy the lines they have here all the time. So it's usually on either side of the street. So at that point, what can you do? You just kind of roll with it. But yeah, what I forgot to bring up is I think it all ties back to the veil situation, which is turning out to be everything. So, I mean, it's the answer for everything. I don't know, why is it raining out? Ah, it's the veil, bro. Why can't you find your keys? Ah, it's the veil, bro. Where'd my bank card go? Dude, it's behind the veil. Everything's the veil. But I think it is, though, because it's it's a technology. It's the same kind of technology they use for a lot of shit. I'm gonna cross over here. But yeah, it's the same thing. It's like it's attached to everything. Everything that we all that stuff, how you can start to see things that you can see before, or even stuff in yourself, because I think the veil actually affects you. I use the veil because that's it's a biblical type of term, and it kind of sums up what's going on. There's like this veil between you and what you're seeing here on the screen. I call it the screen, but it also is the screen because I'm filming things. But yeah, that's breaking down, and that's tied to the fact that the beast is dying. This is the end of this whole thing. I really believe that. I don't know why, but it's like one of those things that you have those your inner tuning fork type of thing, as Matt from Quantum Conscious calls it. I just feel like well, there's a couple things. I brought up the astrology thing, but anyway, getting way off the track here. What's happening with the Mandela effect, I don't think it has anything to do with them. Whoever them is, like the evil, whatever, you make the lineup yourself. But whatever the opposing force, the opposing team, whatever you call those people, they're losing control of the whole thing here, and they're dying. So I think they've been doing this particular move for a very long time. maybe in a recycle sort of sense, a recyclical. Oh, I love making up words. But some of these words I make up should be out there. Maybe they're out there now. They are out there now. But you hear that, I've heard the term the veil being used to describe this sort of phenomenon of this space between you and what you can see. In the Bible as well, they talk about removing the scales from your eyes so you can, see the scales fall from your eyes. And it's been degrading over time, and that's why you see more and more stuff. But I think what's happening with that, with all the incidental changes, I think that's happening all the time. It's just that we weren't aware of it before. Things are always changing like that. But for whatever reason, we're not getting an update to another Matt term, the download. Although, I used that term a long time ago too. Not like he's copying me. He doesn't know me, but I think there's this, there's the mass consciousness thing. It's like a pool of terminology, among many other things, that people give and take to. Like, how many times have you just run into a word that you never, maybe you might have heard it a couple times, but you never really used it in your own conversation, and all of a sudden you see it popping up everywhere. Because it's in the ether, man. It's in that, but beyond the ether's, to me, is just like the empty space. The shared consciousness is where that stuff would be. Like, it's sitting in there, like a thing, and the words go in it, words come out of it, ideas go into it, ideas come out of it. And when one gets in there, sometimes it starts to take off. People keep taking out of it. You take out of it unconsciously. You're all sharing from this consciousness that we all share. And that's why sometimes words and terminology will rise to the top as far as describing, whatever you're talking about. We don't have enough of that, though. As far as talking about metaphysical things, there isn't a lot of agreed upon terms. So sometimes it's really hard to get what you're talking about because someone's using a completely different word or description to talk about the same thing. But yeah, it's like there's a thing we're all sharing from. It's not really like a zeitgeist. I think it's more of a cultural thing. But, it could be tied to it. Someone could tie that to it, I guess. It all ties together anyway. But, so yeah, I think all these things, these little Mandela changes, they just happen all the time. And our systems get updated. We get, downloads. I believe this happens when you sleep. And I believe, from what I come to understand, I think a lot of the reason why you sleep as long as you do has more to do with, or all to do with, retrofitting, refixing the screen, retaping the screen on your personal viewer. And however long that takes is how long you have to be down. Because the whole thing about being tired doesn't make any sense to me. Because, I've stayed home. Recently I've been staying home a lot, trying to heal my leg, Because I'm at that point where I don't know if it's better to exercise it, to get it moving more, or to lay off it. So I've been in the house a little bit more than usual. I haven't been going out as much. And I'm trying to figure out where the balance between staying home and resting it and going out and moving it. I think I just said that twice in two different ways. But there was a larger point there too. My fucking brain is gone. It's the veil, dude. It's the veil, bro. I had a great topic, but it's the veil, bro. Yeah. So what happens is this is changing. Little changes like that happen all the time. But we don't notice them because when the new change happens, when the new information comes that makes something different or changes something in the reality, we get updated, like software. And when we don't get updated, we can still see the old post post-change version of it, which is what they call in the Mandela circles artifacts. The thing though about that is that's an idea, but a lot of the changes end up making whatever the thing is, whether it's a saying or a part from a movie or a color on a flag or a country, it makes it make less sense. Like the change doesn't make as much sense as the original. So that's the only thing about that I would say maybe there's something that wouldn't be what I'm thinking it is. I like when I start talking, but I'm having a way more interesting conversation in my mind, trying to work through some of this shit. And it turns out here in this space, I'm just walking around going, oh, this fucking bill, bro. Well, sometimes, like, if I can sit still, I'm a lot better with collecting thoughts and things like that. But good luck trying to find a place to just relax here, like to sit down somewhere. You can, I guess, but within, you know, the nonsense meter starts going up, which is, like I've talked about before, it's like getting in a cab. As soon as you get in a cab, the meter starts running. It's a lot like that here. When you stand still, the nonsense meter starts running. And in a certain amount of time, you're going to end up with a friend, someone that wants to talk to you. And you don't want to talk to them usually. Just sitting anywhere. Hey, what are you doing? It's like, oh man, I don't know. I'm leaving. That's what I'm doing. But yeah, I think that's what's happening all the time. It's always shifting and changing like that. It's just that we didn't notice it before, and it is unironically the veil bro is what making that. What are we doing over here? I don't like change. I don't like new things. What is this? Is this how this is going to be here? No. It's like fountains. I don't like it. I don't like things that are different. Don't blame the teacher. Blame the school.